everyone, my name is Perplexion and welcome back to another Pirate101 video. Today I decided I wanted to go ahead and talk about my favorite companion, Old Scratch. Now, before you guys say, oh, she was listed for the Mojo buffs, no. I'm actually going to list many reasons as to why I like him. I'm going to go over what he was based on, his character, what he does in the story, kind of just like the overall reason why I like him. If you want more videos like this, you can always comment down below, like the video, subscribe if you haven't, and with all that out of the way, let's just go ahead and get this started. So before we go ahead and get into his history and all that in the game, let's go ahead and look at what he's based on. So basically, his name, Old Scratch, is a nickname for the devil. Like, the devil has many names, Old Scratch is one of them. Two interesting titles in his promos are Boker and Haugen. Basically, a Boker and Haugen are patient priests that practice voodoo magic, which I think is a pretty interesting detail. I love that a lot. His teacher is also Papa Legba. He was based on a Caribbean god, Papa Legba. I definitely know more about him in the game than outside of the game, so let's just go ahead and get onto that. So, about Scratch in the game. I think there's quite a little bit left to go through, so I'm just going to go ahead and start with a brief history. So basically, according to the Pirate101 wiki, before the events of Pirate101, Old Scratch learned the ways of the witch doctor from Papa Legbones, a Warmo witch doctor that lived in territory that was claimed by privateers from Marvel. As is expected to happen to everyone, Old Scratch perished. So yeah, basically, he got killed by scurvy dogs. And if you read up on a rogues gallery, that's basically like the place where you can read up on more lore for characters, companions, and NPC alike, I believe. But basically, he pretty much lost his memories from his first life, except Papa Legbones, pretty much. So that's why he mentions him in his first promotion on the way to Boker, which is why he doesn't really seem to have any beef with any dogs, because, I don't think he even remembers how he died. Papa Legbones first met Scratch when Scratch ended up in a shipwreck. Scratch was the only survivor of that shipwreck. After Papa Legbones saw him, he decided to treat him, nursing him back to health. He used his knowledge of herbal cures and healing mojos to save his life. Scratch was fascinated by the power that Papa Legbones used to save him, so he became his willing student. He learned quickly, but refused to take Sister Snake as his magical patron, who was Papa Legbones' magical patron. He decided to put Sister Snake aside in favor for the Dark Crawler. After Papa Legbones had found out Scratch had pledged himself to the Dark Crawler, he cast him out, just as Papa Legbones had been casted out of his tribe. Scratch had faced an untimely death, and then he became Old Scratch. So, Scratch had another name when he was alive, but we don't know what that name was. Scratch came back to life on a dark path, because the Dark Crawler had made a pact with him before he even died. Papa Legbones stayed in his cave until a rival witch doctor, Screech, came to steal the Eye of the Serpent. Papa Legbones got killed by Screech, and basically in the first promo, Scratch is asked by Papa Legbones to avenge him by defeating Screech and taking back the eye. At this point, Scratch is already set on a better path because of the captain, the player character, who decided to take him on the crew to give him like a second chance. And of course, we first meet him, we go ahead and defeat him. Fearing a second death, he asks us if he can join us. And what I really love about him is that he's not really annoying to me. He's actually a smart guy. I'm not saying all the boys on the crew are dumb. I'm not saying that, but he's definitely one of the less annoying ones, in my opinion. He's also very, very useful. Like, I think people downplay his usefulness in the story. Not talking about combat, the story. There are many, many instances where we probably wouldn't be able to do things without him. So, of course, first of all, the obvious thing, the local knowledge he has about his graveyard, he helps us find a grave that we're seeking, so we can go ahead and continue on our quest to Captain Gunn's treasure. That's pretty useful. The second time is pretty much when, water moles have appeared to have stolen Gunn's gold. which we would have found if it, weren't stolen. Scratch decides to resurrect Captain Gunn so that Captain Gunn can tell us where or what happened to the gold. And of course, he says Warmo stole it. So we go ahead and get to a Pawnee Woo, where we find Ratbeard betrayed by the Warmos. Of course. I think him just reviving dead people to get info out of them is pretty smart. I love him for that. He does this quite a few times in the story, but this, of course, isn't the only thing he does to contribute. Like this one time before Tartarus, we needed an undead person to hold an oboe, right? So that we could be allowed to Tartarus, because only dead people are allowed to go there. At least by Sharon. But of course, the captain ain't dead. No one else dead except Scratchdom. So, of course, like the king he is, he takes the lead and says, you know what? I'll go ahead and take this oboe. I'll go ahead and start this trip. And Sharon's was like, you know what? Fine.
Where can we learn the truth of history but from the dead who lived it, who made it? Where else can we find such hubris?
I love how he's trying so
such
hard.
Passion.
He's trying so hard. Let's go.
Such is not my concern. Use your imagination. That should be
Oh, that's
enough.
crazy.
The living may not hire my boat.
Oh, he's serious about this. He's like, I'll get paid enough for this crap.
I am not living. May I hire your fine boat?
See, here he goes again. Here comes the king. Y'all be wondering why he my favorite.
You may.
Yep.
Then give I the oboe,
There we go.
Captain, my captain. I will book our passage, and my captain and crew shall sail as my guests.
Well
King.
played, skeletal one.
King.
Tell me, oh, scary ferryman, the living may not hire your formidable skiff, but can they ride upon it? Is that forbidden?
I love him so much.
No.
Then it is done.
There you
Here
go.
be your oboe. Take I to your grim lord, my gallant captain, my crew, and the poet. Them all shall be my
He's so
entourage.
smart. He is so smart. He needs merch. He's also even much more useful in Tartarus, like when we finally get there. Basically finds and destroys the ritual totems to go ahead and weaken Oksana's, well, the woman necromancer we found in Krakatopia's power. Which I think is also pretty damn useful. I love how Scratch had a huge role in Tartarus. He doesn't speak too much in the story. Of course he's one of the people who speak a lot, but he doesn't speak that much, at least in my opinion. So I'm really happy that he had many huge parts in a Tartarus update. They really need to put the spotlight on my boy more, because people need to realize that he's not only good for combat. Like, if you actually pay attention to the story, if you pay attention to the dialogue, you'll realize, hey, this guy is actually not that bad. He's pretty damn useful. I also really love his design. I think they really cooked with the design, especially the Hangen one, in my opinion. The tattoos go really hard. I love them so much. They're probably my favorite part of the Haugen outfit he has on. The top hat is also really cool. Like, you guys can't tell me he didn't look badass as in Haugen. And when I found out that Boker and Haugen titles were Haitian, that's what's amazing. That just had me like, wow, there's a lot more to this guy than I initially thought. That's amazing. Another thing I want to say though is I feel like Scratch is too important of a character to not have merch. Like, we have Bonnie Ann plushies, we have El Toro plushie, we now have a Ratbeard plushie, but where's the old Scratch plushie? Or whatever of him. Only piece of merch I have of Scratch is a sweatshirt, which I love. I wear it whenever I can, whether I'm at school, whenever I'm outside, or just, whatever. Whenever I just like wearing it, I think he's a pretty cool character. I think he's a little underrated. I could be wrong, but in my opinion, I think he's a little underrated. I feel like he needs to be seen more, at least in story terms, because people mainly know him as a Mojo Buff guy, which is a little sad, but you know, understandable, because he's kind of known just for being a broken companion and nothing else. But there's a lot more to him, as there are a lot more to other characters as well. I love his accent. I love his character. I love his design. He's my favorite companion for all these varieties of reasons I have listed in this video. He's probably my favorite character in the entire Spiral. Wizard 101 terms, Pirate 101 terms. Like, he's probably my most favorite character in the Spiralverse because, you know, he's really useful. He's really smart. He's not really annoying. He's not all that loud or gloatful or whatever. I always get excited when I see him talk. The Taurus update was probably my favorite last year just because he was super useful in it. I'm so happy he got put in the spotlight, but I need to be more put in the spotlight in the merch side of things because I feel like my boy needs more attention. He's not even on the Skull Island poster. Like, come on. He needs more attention. But you know, even if he doesn't get the attention I think he deserves, he'll be my favorite character pretty much forever. I kind of liked him for many years now, and I really love learning about him as time goes. Like, the more I learn about him, the more I love him. I think that's kind of all I have to say about him, though. I think that's it for this video. I probably missed some things. I hope I didn't. But even if I did, I hope this kind of just explains why I like Old Scratch a lot. Not only as a combat unit, but as a character as a whole. I think he's really useful. He's really awesome. And I think he should be given more credit in story terms. So, if you guys want to see more commentary videos like this, you can always go ahead and let me know in the comment section. You can always subscribe to the channel if you want. Like the video, really helps out the algorithm. And with all that out of the way, I guess I'll go ahead and see you guys next time. Bye.